Even before OJ was seen on national television outrunning the police in his Bronco, we've enjoyed a love affair with the 4x4, the sports utility vehicle. And it must be an image thing. It must be. It has to be about image. What other reason could there possibly be for buying a car that's thirstier, more cramped, and doesn't go around corners as well as a family hatch? And if it is an image thing, then Chrysler have been getting it right for some years with this, the Cherokee. It was first introduced into this country in '93, and it looked like that, since which they've sold 27,000, and the car now looks like this. Pretty much like the original one, really, but if a car is selling that well on its image, why change it? This is the new range topper for the Cherokee, and it's called the Orvis. It's based on the limited SE, the top spec Cherokee, which means you already get on board pretty much everything your heart could desire. There's acres of leather and electric everything, including the seats, which is fun. It also means you have a choice of either the 2.5-litre diesel or the 4-litre petrol engines. That means there is no choice because you've got to have the 4-litre petrol. It's a straight 6 and it puts out enormous great dollops of torque. It feels like it's just clawing lumps out of the road. I keep expecting to look in the mirror and see the tarmac all ruckled up like in a cartoon. The Orvis then adds on to that quite a few cosmetic changes outside and in. And it's interesting to see some of the ways in which the car itself has evolved over the years. And here are some of those ways. If you look really carefully, you'll see that the indicators at the front and the grille have subtly changed shape. The car's been extensively rounded off. It's lost some of its squareness, and details like the sills with their ridges have changed and become a lot plainer and cleaner. The interior has been extensively changed over the years. Everything has been rounded off and become a bit softer, perhaps less American, if anything, more Japanese in flavour. They're all pretty luxurious. Leather abounds, there's plenty of walnut, though not as much now as there once was. The Orvis version adds further visual cues outside, including the rear boot spoiler, its own special alloys, and these. There's an interesting story about these. They are false. They are a mere adornment. They do nothing. And the managing director of Chrysler UK decided that he liked them and wanted to conduct some customer research of his own at the motor show last year. So he got hold of a set of these, literally stuck them to the bonnet with a bit of blue tack and asked passers-by what they thought. They agreed with him that they looked great. And so there they are. What it is to have power. But hold on, you will say. This thing has a 4-litre 6-cylinder engine. It's going to cost me all of my money to run it. And it probably will. You'll be lucky to see 18 miles to the gallon. But a large part of the real cost of running any vehicle is in the residuals. How much money do you lose when you come to sell it on? If you'd bought one of these 4 or 5 years ago and done, as this one has, about 102,000 miles, it would still be worth £10,000. That is incredible value. I like the Jeep Cherokee. In an increasingly bland and homogenised world, it's managed to hang on to a little bit of character and personality. Sure, there are those who are going to complain that it's a bit more cramped inside than it might be and that it uses a lot of fuel and perhaps is a bit dated to look at. But to do so is to miss the point entirely. They're probably the same people that complain that they can't get a good crease down the front of the jeans these days. To me, it's an attractive car and it's got a lot for it, particularly when you consider that, OK, it uses a lot of petrol. But if this example, 100,000 miles old, 5 years old, and still retaining 50% of its original value, is any kind of illustration of what you or I might expect if we buy a new Cherokee Orvis, then I think we can forgive it using a bit more fuel than perhaps it should.